Shalom, everyone. If you're new to my station, I am the Hebrew Rose Jericho, coming at you with some judgment news. All praises to the Almighty, sublime, most magical one, the creator of all things and the master of the day of judgment, our Father. And to our most beautiful mother, Maui, much love, honor, and respect, Mother. We give you gratitude and adoration, and we ask you for wisdom in this message. Shalom, everyone, all of my sisters and brothers out there of the Star Seed United. I send you infinite love and light, and I receive yours. Yes, all of our friends and allies too. Yes, there's some allies coming aboard now. We can see that this is happening worldwide, where people are actually allying with the children of the Most High. Hallelujah. Yes, this whole world is being turned upside down. At the same time, it's being judged. It's so much going on in judgment news until we're going to talk about a few things on this video right now. You know, these fires are happening everywhere. You know, and they have a big one happening in British Columbia, over there in Canada. You guys see this map? All of those red dots are out of control fires. And Canada's been on fire for going on 2 months now, if it hasn't been 2 months. You guys know we were indigenous on all of the continents, right? Yeah, some of us did. We stayed back. Not all of us left, you know. Some of us have stayed in Africa, but we were dispersed. The Most High, He scattered us to the four corners of the earth, and we were indigenous on all the continents. That's why they're digging up all those old artifacts with Hebrew writing, you know, etched in the walls and in the rocks and all over the earth. They're finding these artifacts because we were indigenous in all the lands. Even though some of us did come over in the Atlantic slave trade. Yeah, and then we still have some sisters and brothers that are still in Africa. Yeah, fighting the good fight. Just like us, Starseed United. So now Canada's been on fire for 2 months. When that fire first broke out in Alberta, you know, Mother downloaded to me that was a judgment. And then we seen where that moss was so thick on the ground and it grows tentacles underneath the ground. That's why they cannot put these fires out. These are judgments, and it is our Messiah. Yeah, the King and God of this earth, whom I pledge my allegiance to. Yeah, the Son of the Most High, and Maui, our big brother. You see that fire, tornado, and blast coming out of his mouth? This is the largest megalith on this earth. One day, that most holy place is going to be like the center point of this earth, where the Most High Himself created a megalith of His Son, with a fire, tornado, and a blast coming out of His mouth, with a crown and a feather. Now, this is off the Nile in Africa, and you see that feather in His hat? In His crown. Yeah, what does that remind you of? That's what I'm saying. We were the indigenous one. Why do you think they have fringes on their clothes? Came from us. Okay, let me get back on the subject of these fires. This fire in particular has been burning for 2 months, y'all. They cannot put the fires out. The last time Canada had fires like these, they didn't go out for 400 days. That's over a year. And so Mother downloaded to me that these that Alberta, it started in Alberta, that Alberta fire was a judgment. What's happening here? Look at the map. Canada is on fire. And the fires, all the red dots are out of control. They don't know when they're going to be able to stop these fires. And Canada is a big old racist, colonizing country, you see. Because when I looked up Alberta, just like in the United States with the sundown towns, when I looked up the racial demographic of Alberta, I don't even think that they had us listed on the demographic. And then when I looked at the numbers for how many black farmers were in Canada, it's like the ratio is almost the same as over here in the United States of America, where it's just very, very few. They pushed us all the way off the farming land. They took our land away from us and enslaved us everywhere. And it's over. It's over. And our Messiah and the host are taking care of business, okay? If you're new to my station, I'm going to be talking about some things. You might not understand what I'm saying. You might have some catching up to do because I can't go backwards, and explain every little detail. So if I mention something, believe me, it's on the other video. So I'm fixing to talk about the quote unquote Chinese spy balloons. Mother downloaded to me that the Atlanteans were taking the measurements of the frequencies and vibrations of this planet. Yeah, they were collecting data, okay? And it had everything to do with like the last QC test upon this earth. The last QC before the next level of judgment was activated. See, judgments, you guys know that since them spy balloons that I told y'all were from the Atlanteans, and I was like, when the frequencies and vibration, the measurements were just right, according to the Most High's plan, I said what was going to happen. Let me talk about that for a minute. I need to get this off my chest, okay? Because I'm not tripping with anybody. My station has very, very slow growth. Very slow. I could be at one number for months and months and months. I mean, like, I could be at 1128 for like 3 or 4 months. So I'm not trying to promote. I don't even know how to promote. I'm just a child of the Most High, sharing with you what is being shared with me. So if I say I said, it's not out of pride. I'm saying I said, and I'm going to relax and say I said this and I said that because I did. But the information didn't come from me. It comes from Mother. It comes from Uriel, the Archangel. It comes from Thoth. It comes from our Messiah. I'm getting downloads. I'm working with quite a few, that's giving me the understanding of what I have found on this earth. As we are getting very, very close to the Great Reset. Okay, so if I say I said, it's not pride. Okay, but you can think what you want. I can't worry about what people think. Now let's look at this map of Canada. I'm gonna get off of all of that. Okay, let's get back on the subject here. Canada is almost burnt up. Look at it. Do you know how many people have lost their homes in Canada? You know what damage is done to all of these cities' infrastructure? The Most High is casting judgment. He's balancing the scale. So you might say, what did Canada do so bad? Well, again, it was those colonizing French and organized religion, specifically the Catholic Church, all over Canada. And we know what's being found now at those orphanages, many graveyards underneath their churches. They were doing sacrifices. That's what they were doing. They were doing witchcraft. They were doing sacrifices with those children. So let's go back to the indigenous family, because, did Canada didn't have slaves? Well, hell yeah, they did. They might not have called them that. I don't know if they did or not, but what I do know is the indigenous people, their children were taken away from them. They would find any little excuse. That's why they always try to make themselves look like the good purebreds of the earth and make the people that are not like them, they call them savages and, no culture, all of that kind of stuff like that. They put a bad light on them so that they can have an excuse to do their debauchery. And in this case, the Most High is pissed off at Canada because the blood from all of those children that were unalived in sacrifices in Canada, the scales will be balanced. Those children's blood is crying out to the Most High now. How long, oh Yahweh? Like we do. All of the parents that grieve to death over somebody just snatching their children up, never to be seen again. They grieve to death. The grandmothers, the aunts, the uncles. And we didn't have power in our hands. That's why it ran rampant in Canada. We didn't have the power in our hands. Yeah, we were indigenous there too. It was us copper-colored people over there. And they just took our children away from us. And they used them as slaves and as sacrifices. And that's why Canada is getting burned, okay? Because of the frequency and vibration over there in Canada. I did say the frequency. And those frequencies collected over Canada picked up on all of those little babies crying out, their blood crying from the ground. That's what they were picking up in the frequency and vibration. And then bam, look at Canada now. It was the French and the Catholic Church in cooperation to crush us in Canada. To crush us. And they took the land. Yep. And so the data that was collected over Canada had a whole lot of colonizing energy. And they're burning. And they've been burning for 2 months. Now we gotta talk about that fire that happened in Maui. Yeah. Many perished in that fire. They said, I think the last count I heard was 110 confirmed. But you have 1,300 people that just vanished. Where do you think they are? And they're still going through the rubble. Now you see him, he said, that fire moved 1 mile per minute. There's no running away. It came so very fast until the people, many of them perished trying to get away from it. People had to run over into the ocean, jump in pools, and some of them still died of carbon monoxide in the waters. And so this was This was like a horrible fire. Now, let me tell you about these scientists again. They be lying. They said, now I mentioned what they said, but I'm like, wow, But then it's downloaded to me that they lying. Because how could the winds? It's a hurricane happening 800 miles away. That's like halfway across the United States, by the way. Approximately. Just think about that distance. Driving, if you've ever been on road trips. How long would it take you to get from California to Texas? And that's how far away it was. Let's say the hurricane is in Texas and it's fanning the flames on the specific island in a specific area, Maui. That was bullshit. They made something up again. What happened was the Messiah, with that fire tornado and blast, he blasted Hawaii. And the angels of the winds, the archangels of the winds, fanned the flames. This was an unprecedented event. They never seen any fires like this. This is not a wildfire. This is not a forest fire. And they trying to say, oh, it was the power lines. It was this, it was that. And they do not know. And when they don't know, they just make it up and they get somebody who people think is credible to say what they want to say. What happened here was a judgment. It was a judgment for the same reason Canada is still burning. Now, what happened over in Hawaii, I did a video a couple of videos ago, or I don't know, a few days ago, about this fire. And Hawaii was heavily colonized. And they let the natives enjoy it, the indigenous ones enjoy it for a minute. And they were black too, look just like us, copper colored people. Had us fighting each other. Colonized us. And they ruined the beautiful land that was ours. Hawaii has some, I haven't been, I've been to a few places before. I've been to Alaska. It was beautiful too. And then I've been to different states in the United States and, over in Mexico. Yeah, I did a little traveling. But Hawaii was the most beautiful place I ever seen in my life. And when you look at what it looked like before this fire, they ruined it. It was covered with concrete and structures. You couldn't even see the land. And the lady was talking about this beautiful marsh area. I guess they would go through it with their canoes. It was a beautiful marsh area. Beautiful. I know it had beautiful flowers, probably hibiscus, probably those giant ones. And, all of the beautiful vines. And it was a marsh. And the colonizers took it and they covered it up with blacktop and made some kind of, I think he said a tennis court. And then they made a baseball diamond. Just took our beautiful land, you see. And so the Most High is cleansing it. Now they just got busted out. Now they're going to make it a felony because it was predatory. How, like vultures. My goodness. The people in Hawaii are devastated. I know how I grieved. When I lost my husband, honey, I was like, oh, I love that man, honey. And I almost lost my mind. I did lose my mind, actually. I lost it. And you have 1,300 souls that are not accounted for yet. And we're talking men, women, and children. And these people are devastated. It's not just the homes they lost. Many loved ones were lost in that fire. Many people, all the people in Hawaii are in grief. And you have predatory vultures trying to buy their burnt property dirt cheap, because that's what colonizers do. But they're not getting away with it anymore. They can't just bulldoze through like they did before. They just can't get away with shit now. They can't get away with it. The Most High's busting them out. They're getting caught left and right. That's why they hate these cell phones with cameras. I believe these were gifts from the Atlanteans, actually. I think they gave us this technology. The technology to witness these things with our own two eyes. Yeah. And now we can see through the lies that they try to tell. So we have judgment news. Judgment news. That's why it's called judgment news, because judgments have been activated on a whole nother level. It's like this is a progressive judgment. It's like it's not just happening all at one time. These judgments have been accelerated over the last few years. Somewhere around 2019. That's when it started. 18, 19. I would say judgment began somewhere in 2018 to 2019. Yeah. Then we start seeing unprecedented apocalyptic events happening in our world, in the news. And last year it was really bad. You know, the fire judgment had already begun. And the fire judgment started to intensify when the fires left the most holy place. You know, they had the appearance of fire. And when that appearance left, so did the fire judgment. And that was around our Messiah, with the fire, NATO, and blast coming out of his mouth, and the left hand of judgment. Now can you see how all of the pieces of the puzzle are coming together? So Mother led us to the most holy place on this earth. And it had the appearance of fire. You know, like, and the Messiah was much, much blacker than he is. You know, everything was more vivid at the most holy place. And then the fires vanished, or the appearance of fire left. And so where it looked like this, now it looks like this. And when that happened, see, right next door. Okay, so our Messiah megalith, that's the Messiah is the king and God of this earth. And I'm not talking about in his human experience, because I believe he had many human experiences. I do. That's just my belief. Yeah. And so I'm not talking about the human experience when he had to come into this 3D like we did. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the all. In the all. That's who I'm talking about. That's what he looks like. You see him right here? The Son of the Most High, God of Israel. And he has a blast and a fire NATO coming out of his mouth. He's a king, and he's blacker than black. That's why the largest megalith on this earth. This is supernatural, y'all. Perfectly carved. It looks like out of one stone that it appears to be shungite. Where our Messiah was carved out. This is the largest megalith on this earth. But it's top secret. And the Most High kept it top secret too. I don't know when it was stamped upon this earth. But this is supernatural. And this is what's going on right now. We're in the days of judgment. And our Messiah and the host is riding upon this earth. And that's why we see all of these fires. Unprecedented events. The heat dome. The earth is boiling. The waters are no longer capable of cooling the earth. And so now it's unstable because the Sahara sands are not up there regulating. They won't tell you that. Mother downloaded that, okay, to me, the understanding, and sent me here and sent me there for that information. Those Sahara sands I knew was the Most High's hourglass. I told you that. And in many places, they're not there anymore. It's just little tiny residuals of sand. We're at the bottom and all kind of magic is showing up. And so we are in the last days. If you don't understand what I just said, you're going to have to go back and you're just going to have to study the videos, of the understanding that our Messiah is stamped on this earth. This is 60 to 70 city blocks, just him. In a megalith that's blacker than black. And he has a fire, NATO, and blast. And we have the outstretched left hand of judgment. Now, why in the hell would anybody, any human, why would they decide that they want, now this is 400 feet. Why would they decide, I'm going to do a left hand? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. No, the Most High created and stamped his left-handed judgment, and you see all of that energy around it. Looked like fire energy before. Yeah, before the fires left. And then our beautiful mother who's given me this wisdom. We do have a spirit mother, the Ruach HaKodesh, or it could be another one of the mothers. Starseed has the genetics of the Most High and the Holy Mother, who we call the Holy Spirit. Yeah, those are starseed. We do have their DNA. And then some have the father's DNA, but they might have one of the other mother's DNA. Yeah, the father has many children, and it's more than one mother. Starseed have this mother, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, who is speaking to her children in these last days in various different ways. Yeah, she's guiding us through. And that's who guided us to this point of judgment news. And she told us to go to that most holy place, the most holy place on this earth that will one day be the center point of the whole entire earth, at least the surface. Never seen anything like that before. Yes, she guided us to that place, and she told us to take our formidable enemies to that place and talk to the Most High in His most holy courts. And we've done that. And now you see, all of this is real. And whether you were looking in for curiosity, whether you were spying in for the federal government, it matters not. What you have seen thus far has been supernatural. And the explanations are being verified over and over and over again. And you know that when those fires left the grounds of that most holy place, fire judgment started hitting, and they left about I would say they left in May of last year. Yeah, so it's coming up on a year and a half. Those fires left that most holy place, and look, fires everywhere, volcanoes erupting, and then we found the volcano god. It must be a god over the volcanoes. I don't know. But this entity appeared in 2000, I believe it was 18. That's why I say judgment. I believe these judgments started somewhere around there. 2018, 19. So we've been in judgment for a few years. And they are intensifying. They're intensifying, and it's nothing humans can do about it. Now, going back to mainstream media news, going back to these governmental agencies, going to the firemen and the ambulance and all of you rescuers, okay? When you know that it's something you can't do, you can do absolutely nothing about. I don't care how great and wonderful the airplanes are and how many gallons of water they carry. You know that you can't stop that fire, and you know that you can't save that property. It's only for appearance. It's only for appearance. And these people need to stop ordering these people to go into their death going on suicide missions. I can see if it's like a 50-50 chance, because every time a firefighter go in to rescue in a fire, he's got a percentage on his side. But when you know a 0%, come on now. Come on. And I was so happy about Hawaii. They couldn't send the helicopters in for that appearance of putting out the fire. The fire went out just as quick as it came. Yeah, and mankind had nothing to do with that. But I was glad they didn't send the Most High wouldn't let them. The winds were too high. Those angels of the wind if they would have tried, they would have stumbled all into the fire. Yeah, they would have crashed. So, let's get back to it. Because we talked about Canada. Remember that fire map? Canada. It was all over the lands. It's like almost the whole landmass has got fires somewhere on it. Yeah. Because of what happened to the children, the Starseed children. The Atlanteans picked up the frequency of their blood crying out from the ground. Yeah. And everyone that grieved over them, even to this day. That's what was picked up in Canada. And we know that to be true. Even Queen Elizabeth went over there and some orphans disappeared. Yeah, she was supposed to be taking them on a picnic and they just disappeared. Yeah, that old reptilian. Okay, you guys. So now we're going to look at the Mediterranean map, because unlike Canada, it's the entire coastline. And I did a video on it, but I got another download. Just like I did the one on Alberta, Canada. Yeah, I got another download on these fires, you see. You got one where the whole landmass is just covered with fires. And then we go over to what happened in the Mediterranean about a week or a little over a week ago, maybe, where the Most High set the whole coastline on fire. Because this bastard right here, yes, this bastard Kais Saied, yeah, him, the president of Tunisia, ooh wee honey, what he did, this last trick that he did, you know, when he sent those migrants out to the desert to die. First they broke some of their bones, then they threw them on the bus. Men, women, babies, pregnant women. This bastard gave the order to send him out to the desert, you see. Make sure they didn't make it anywhere. He sent them to their death. And of all places, the soldiers of Libya went out to gather some of these people and rescue them. But many perished now. Some of them didn't survive what he did. And it pissed the Most High off, okay? It triggered judgment. That evil act right there triggered judgment. And look at the difference between what happened in Canada and what happened at the Mediterranean coastline. In Canada, it's like the frequency was picked up from all of the blood that was crying out, that was sacrificed over there in Canada, all those children that they've been hiding, hiding the whole big old Catholic secret over there of those children that perished. And everybody that grieved, and even some to today that we're still in the 3D grieving of what they did to us and our ancestors. That's what frequency was picked up there. And here in the Mediterranean, because of this last act of this bastard right here, the frequency and vibration was coming from the Mediterranean of all of the souls that people like him and people in Europe have unalived or could have helped them, but let them perish at sea. And so now what happened with that submersible? We gonna talk about that because we going back and forth because I said, because I told you what was downloaded to me. It's evidence. It's evidence that everything I've told you thus far is true. Okay, it's true, whether you like the way I present it or not. And believe me, I'm not no guru. I don't go into mechanical and robotic meditation and all of that. But I'm communicating with the mother and the father and Uriel all day long, honey. It's just a part of my life. Yeah. And so these things that I have been showing you, these things are coming to pass. And we are in the days of judgment. We've been led by the mother to take these bastards to the courts of the Most High. And we took Qais, Saed, whatever the hell this monster's name is, this bastard, this president in Africa that said the Africans was making their colony too black. The nerve. The nerve. We took this bastard to the courts of the Most High, and the Most High that he did this. We took him to the courts of the Most High, and I think maybe a week later, we got to look back on these judgments and in this judgment news. Right after he did this, the Most High set the Mediterranean coastline on fire, specifically. Just a couple little dots of fire inland. But the whole coastline is on fire. And this is war. And the host of the Most High declared war on their asses for capsizing ships, for watching people perish, looking at them die. They probably don't leave until they know everybody died of thirst or starvation, or that their boat capsized and they sit by and they watch it. And we took their asses to the courts of the Most High, and the Most High dealt with them because we are the spark that ignites these judgments. When we take our formidable enemies to the courts of the Most High, this is what happens. All praises to the Most High. And so what I see happening here with these fire judgments is a confirmation of the Atlanteans taking the frequency and vibration of the sectors of this earth. And where there's low vibrational people and there's no lights or, there's just no lights. Yeah, all Hebrew Israelites, they don't have lights. Not yet. That's why only 1/3 of us is going to be saved from this next phase of judgment that is coming very soon. And so the places where there is no lights, the Most High is judging. He's judging them. Okay, you guys, I'm already at 40 minutes. I'm trying not to make these judgment news too long. I'm trying to stick to one subject at a time. We are in the apocalypse. We are in the end. And the Most High has declared war on them, and his host is riding upon this earth, setting it on fire. The next judgment news that will be coming up is the water judgments. The water judgments will do an explanation of what we found the discoveries that connect what's happening to this earth, to everything in the 5D. It was all in the Most High's plan. Those measurements were just right to activate the next phase of judgment. And if y'all see some more balloons, believe me, they're checking the frequency and vibration of the next level. And these fire judgments are connected to the colonizers and their abuses to our people. And their blood has been crying out from the ground. And their blood has been crying out from the Mediterranean Sea. And their blood have cried out from Maui. And these places got hit hard, and they got hit first because the Atlanteans got that measurement for the Most High, and judgment was activated because it was all in his plan. If you're new to my station and you resonated with this message, even if you didn't like the message, but you know this message is truth, you can feel it in your soul, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because there's things coming up in judgment news and downloads and downloads and downloads of things concerning these judgments. And what you need to do. First of all, repent. Second of all, start doing that shadow work. You know if you're a narcissist or not. You know if you're evil. You know if you're mean. You know if you're a low viber. And you need to work on those things, because the only way to survive this apocalypse, once our energy is out of here, is to try to maintain the highest of vibrations that you possibly can and control yourself. That's the only way you're going to survive it. Because we will be taken out of here. And if you're not ready for that, you will be left behind. And once our energy is gone, these judgments will accelerate. So it's not that much more time left. The last quote unquote Chinese spy balloon was over Hawaii. It was over Hawaii. And back in June, I did a video, and I said on that video, when it's just right, the Most High gonna push that button to the next level of these judgments. And he did. And these judgments have greatly intensified, and they're all on top of each other. Like I said, it's not back to back. It's like they're all on top of each other. Fire judgments, water judgments, wind judgments. The host of the Most High is riding. Congratulations, Starseed United. I salute you. For going to the courts of the Most High in this strange message with me, joining your energy. Because we are the spark that ignites these judgments. And soon, and very soon, we will be taken up out of here in the gathering, and we will be going into inner earth to be re-educated. On 100% truth of things, the things that we need to know. And we all will be re-educated, because once we did know these things, we will learn the laws of the universe. Because we will then be interacting with the angels. For real, and other beings and creatures and life forms from inner earth and from other galaxies. That's what we're coming upon. Okay, you guys, so the next judgment news will be on the water judgment, an explanation of what is happening. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for your support of this station. Yes, all of your comments and hitting that like button, and for your gifts of love. Thank you so very much, and may the Most High bless you 100-fold for whatever your heart's desire. Abracadabra. Until the next magical show, your big sister, the Hebrew Rose of Jericho, out. Shalom.